welcome to the very first edition of Fireside Chat. I'm David Heller, your host, going to be with you for a little bit tonight. We got a lot to talk about with the football action that happened today, but first and foremost, let me do some quick business here. And let me do a few things here. All right. Took care of that. And apparently I'm frozen. Don't worry about that. I will. Well, maybe it'll come back on. There it goes. Okay. It's back on now. So, I think what I meant to do was put on the actual chat, aka people putting in comments and that type of thing. So, you're just gonna have to bear with me, folks. I am dealing with technical problems. Oh, here's Jonathan Meisner. Guten Abend, Jonathan. Wie geht es dir? Hello. I heard a cat. Oh, so anyways, we got a lot to talk about. We'll get into the football stuff here shortly. But first, we need to talk about Melissa. Hurricane Melissa. And in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the latest information on Hurricane Melissa. Give me just a second for that. I'm actually going to pull this up here on my phone because, computer being painfully slow. Und mir geht das gut, danke, Jonathan. Let's see here. Let's pull up the information here. This is the wording, not my words. These are the words from our friends at the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Melissa likely to cause life-threatening and catastrophic flash flooding and landslides in portions of Jamaica and southern Hispaniola. Hurricane conditions expected to begin by late tomorrow in Jamaica. Now, that's not all. If you thought that's bad enough, that's not all. In fact, I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to do this and here it is. Okay, so this is from one of weather pages that I follow on Facebook. It's troubling, to say the least. So, according to this post, the eye is shrinking, so therefore expect another jump in strength before going into the ERC, which is called the eye wall replacement cycle. And it usually happens with every major hurricane. Okay? This happens to every single one of them. They get strong, but then they have to go through a phase where they have to undergo the eye wall replacement cycle. The old eye wall goes away, or the old eye in a hurricane, it goes away, and then the new one forms. And so that's exactly what's happening with Melissa tonight. Once the eye reopens, the strengthening process will begin again. The timing of this could spare Jamaica from the worst impacts in terms of the wind. Now, they're still going to get tremendous amounts of rain and damaging winds and things like that. But the wind part of it may not be quite as bad as what forecasters was maybe perhaps anticipating yesterday. But here's where the troubling part comes in. According to this, there are reports that many residents did not go to an actual shelter that was in a spot where it can withstand a Category 5 hurricane. Or should I say Category 3 or higher type hurricane. They did not go to those shelters. Instead, they went to safe spots where they feel comfortable, where maybe they have ran out before. And unfortunately, for a storm like Melissa, that's going to take all those safe spots and it's just going to obliterate it. Like, completely obliterate it. Like, disintegrate it, all that. And this is troubling. This person has a feeling that the death toll may never truly be known. As many people who die will simply be gone in the waters, basically. Meaning that the water is just going to come in, take the people that are trapped, even people who are in those local safe spots where they may feel comfortable with, and they're just going to carry it out to sea. And it's troubling. The weather is not something to mess around with. Absolutely, Jonathan. You, sir, hit the nail on the head. This type of stuff will, simply put, it will kill people. Simply put. Even if you are riding out in one of those local safe spots where you feel the most comfortable normally, it's going to kill you. Okay? This will kill you. And unfortunately, another thing that is quite troubling as well, there are even tourists. Many Americans actually does go visit Jamaica, Hispaniola, places like that, and there are people that are trapped tonight. They try to escape from the storm, and they just simply I couldn't get out in time. Yeah, true. But the bigger death tolls that have come from hurricanes are those in what we consider to be major hurricanes, especially category 3, 4, and 5. And unfortunately, another thing to think about as well, Melissa is going to be very similar to what Helene did last year to Western North Carolina, where the storm is going to be so slow in its movement that it's just going to just dump a tremendous amount of water from the mountains down into the valleys, and a lot of people will probably die alone from trying to drive into floodwaters even. That was what happened last year with Helene in North Carolina. So just a terrible situation tonight on the Caribbean, down in Jamaica, Hispaniola. Now, the good news is that fortunately, Melissa, as of right now, will not hit the United States. It's basically going to make a turn to the northeast, basically go right through Jamaica, go right through eastern Cuba, hit the Bahamas, maybe hit Bermuda, and then it's just going to go out to sea. There, other than maybe beach erosion, big waves, things like that, no impacts at all beyond that for the United States, especially on the East Coast and the Florida coast. Could Jamaica flood over? Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. Absolutely. We could be talking anywhere from 35 to 40 inches of rain across really the whole island of Jamaica. 35 to 40 inches. So, yeah, absolutely. I think Jamaica is going to flood over, not just from the rainwater, but also storm surge that's just absolutely going to be catastrophic across Jamaica and eastern Cuba as well, and even into the Bahamas as well. I think flooding from storm surge alone is going to be catastrophic as well. So, yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. It will most definitely flood over in Jamaica, eastern Cuba, the Bahamas, and maybe Bermuda. We'll see, but definitely Jamaica and eastern Cuba and the Bahamas, and even into western Haiti too. By the way, can't forget about them. They're going to get a lot of rain too from Melissa, and there's going to be tremendous impacts from this without question. And this is not hype. These are the facts that I got in front of me from all the information that I personally have seen. And yeah, like I said, it is quite troubling, to say the least. So that is the situation with Melissa. Meanwhile, at least locally in my area, I think we're going to have fog conditions developing tonight across, especially a good portion of Oklahoma, back into the panhandles, into southern Kansas, into maybe southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas. And then eventually the fog will clear out. We'll still have clouds. And then the cold front will come through Monday night and Tuesday. And the wind machine is going to crank up for the middle of the week. And then I think, honestly, we're done with the 80s. I think, honestly, we are done with the 80s. I think we could be talking highs into more like the 60s, upper 60s, low 50s, upper 70s, that thing. Across my forecast area. So, which means probably for Indiana, Jonathan, if you're wondering, that will probably mean highs closer to the 40s, maybe 30s. So, there you have it. In the weather department. Obviously, we'll be following the situation with Melissa, but just a terrible situation. If you believe in the power of prayer, please say a prayer for those poor people in Jamaica, Eastern Cuba, Western Haiti, the Bahamas, places like that. High 60s. Okay. So about like mine then. Okay. Thanks for the 60 62. Okay. That's still pretty good. So need some rain for 3 days straight. Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that. Uh at least it won't be quite as bad as Jamaica, but still it's always good to get the rain because from what I've been hearing, even Indiana has been dealing with the drought. Drought conditions have been coming back even here uh, into Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Missouri and Arkansas. So it's always good to uh, get the rain any time of the year. It rains too much around here. I don't know about that. There have been some years where you go a long period of time without rain. Uh, in, in fact, let me see. Let me see if I can pull up the latest drought monitor. Um, Again, I apologize if the screen is freezing up on my end. I am dealing with some technical problems, so stand by for that. Uh, while I am getting the drought monitor pulled up, uh, talk about some football. Embarrassing weekend. I know, Jonathan, for your Colorado State Rams. They lost 28-zip. My Sooners lost yesterday to Ole Miss 34-26. Oklahoma State got embarrassed in Lubbock, lost 42-zip in down there to Texas Tech, and then Tulsa lost as well. So not a good weekend for Oklahoma's Big Three college football schools, so to speak. But at least the good news is that the Broncos salvaged the weekend, beating the Dallas Cowboys 44-22. In fact, I'm going to pull up some stats regarding the day for Bo Nix and the rest of the Bronco offense. Bo Nix, 19 for 29, 247 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. That happened on the first possession of the game. Dobbins, 15 carries for 111 yards. Harvey, 7 attempts or 7 carries, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Marvin Mims, 3 attempts for 18 yards. So overall on the day, 178, basically close to 180 yards of rushing for the Bronco offense. That is pretty good, considering where we were before. Let's see. Receiving yards. The Steelers play just as well as their uniforms look. Oh man. Yep, of course. We all did believe in Bo Nix. Franklin, 6 receptions for 89 yards and caught 2 touchdowns. Sutton, 6 targets, 4 receptions for 67 yards. Bryant, 2 receptions for 40 and a touchdown. Harvey caught that touchdown pass as well. Yeah. The biggest one by far, I think the biggest one was that interception that Dak threw to Tillman, and Tillman ran it back for 36 yards. That would have been hilarious had he gone all the way. That would have been absolutely hilarious. Honestly. Like, seriously, Jonathan, that would have been hilarious. Defense-wise, yeah, at times we kind of struggled, but for the most part, we limited the Cowboy offense. Got Dak to turn the ball over a couple times. So yeah. Best run we've had in a couple of years. We don't need to make trades for a wide receiver. We have good ones, just need to catch a bit better. Yep, I agree with that. We could see better out of some of the wide receivers, especially. So, yeah, it all lines up. All right, speaking of Dak, these are some of his numbers. 19 to 31 for only 188 yards and 2 picks. 2 picks. Well, yeah, Moss was the biggest one, committing multiple DPIs, and then we lost Surtain as well. I think that was the biggest thing I kind of noticed, is that we struggled a little bit after Surtain went down with not really the injury to his shin, but his injury to the shoulder that he suffered at the end of the first half. That was where I saw where the Cowboys was able to, at times, take advantage of the loss of PS2 from our secondary. But overall, our defense was good today. Pickens was limited to only 78 yards and 7 receptions. CeeDee Lamb only had 74 yards and also 7 receptions. So we did a good job of limiting not only George Pickens, but also CeeDee Lamb as well. So that's pretty good. Tolbert, not a good day for him. Only 47 yards and 2 receptions. Shoemaker, 25 yards and 2 receptions. So that's pretty good. Defense for the Cowboys, they really struggled. In terms of stopping our offense, they completely struggled. And in fact, by the end of the game, they were down to only 2 secondaries. 2. That's not good. And I know Tony Romo had mentioned that the Cowboys could be just mediocre, but quite frankly, with all the injuries to especially their secondary, I'm not now that I think about it, I'm not so sure if I buy what Tony Romo said during the broadcast about the Cowboys potentially going 8-1 on the season, because they are so injured, especially in their secondary department. So, see what happens, but right now, I don't think the odds look good in favor of the Cowboys. I'll just put that way. Elsewhere across the NFL, Dolphins with a surprise upset in Atlanta today, defeating the Falcons 34-10. Ravens took care of business against Caleb Williams and the Bears 30-16. Josh Allen and the Bills took care of business in Charlotte 40-9. The biggest surprise win came from the New York Jets, defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 39-38. Jets getting their first win on the year. The Bengals absolutely should have beaten the Jets, because had they beaten the Jets, they would have been tied for first place in the AFC North with the Steelers at 4-4. But because of that loss, despite the Steelers being 4-4, they still have the lead in the AFC North because of the Bengals' loss. Texans, who we play next, defeated the 49ers 26-15. Patriots go to 6-2 for the first time since 2019. Defeated the Cleveland Browns today 32-13. The Eagles defeated the Giants 30-20, but I think the biggest story, has to be the Scatterboot injury that he suffered to his ankle. I think he had, from what I understand, he had to have surgery tonight in Philadelphia, and it looks like he is going to be out for the remaining part of the year. So, that's not good. Other scores. Buccaneers took care of business against Saints 23-3. Colts took care of business against Titans 38-14. And then the Packers beat the Steelers 35-25. They still have some tough games. Chargers, Chiefs are waiting for them. Yep, that's for sure. NHL. The Avalanche lost to the Devils in overtime 4-3. The Golden Knights also lost in overtime to the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1. Sharks defeated the Wild in overtime 6-5. The Mammoth beat the Jets 3-2. Kings 3-1. Stars 3-2. Flames 5-1. And the Canucks 4-3 in overtime. Michael Brennan won the Bank of Utah Championship in golf today. In the NBA, Spurs defeated the Nets 118-107. Pistons took care of business against the Celtics, who are now 0-3, 119-113. Pistons go to 2-1 on the year. Cavaliers defeated the Bucks 118-113. They're both 2-1 now. Heat defeated the Knicks 115-107. Hornets took care of business against the Wizards 139-113. Have a good night, Jonathan. Thanks for coming along. Timberwolves defeated the Pacers 114-110. The Mavericks got a win, and that's who the Thunder play next. 139-129 over the Raptors. Clippers defeated the Trailblazers 114-107. And then the Lakers defeated the Kings 127-120. In the Premier League, Arsenal defeated Crystal Palace 1-0. Aston Villa over Manchester City 1-0. Burnley over Wolverhampton 3-2. Bournemouth over Nottingham Forest 2-0. Tottenham Hotspur over Everton 3-0 as well. So, good night, kind sir. Okay, my friend. Talk to you tomorrow, of course, Jonathan. And looking forward to the Monday Night Football game. So that is the latest rundown in the sports world. Yeah, obviously, as I said earlier, thoughts and prayers go out to the folks in Jamaica, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that situation. And of course, I'll be covering it somewhat on the Instagram source. Obviously, stay tuned to a good source of information, as they will have the up-to-date information on Melissa and where it's going. That's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a good night. Go ahead, Turbo. Turbo. God, my man.